Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Will. Will is from North Carolina in the USA. So let's see what Will has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hey, how's it
Hello.
going?
Hello Will, I'm very well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. You?
Very well. Thanks so much. Thanks for taking the time on Saturday for the interview. Thank you.
Thank you. I've never done an interview before, so I don't like the sound of my own voice, to be honest.
Don't worry, it's amazing. It's amazing. Will, so how's your day been so far today?
Good. I slept in today. I didn't wake up till like 11, and I needed that because I'm very time is not. I don't have a lot of time here lately. I'm in school and working full time, so it's just.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
I feel very glad that you found the time for the interview. Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Will, tell me, where are you from?
So I was born in New Jersey. I was born in New Jersey, and then I lived in my parents' countries for 6 years when I was like from third grade to eighth grade, so from like maybe like around maybe 8 to like 15 years old. I lived in El Salvador, and then came back to New Jersey, and I live in North Carolina now, in the U.S.
Wow. And why North Carolina?
I was in the military, and I was in the U.S. Marine Corps, and that's what brought me to North Carolina. And then I've stayed here now. I mean, not so much by choice. It's just kind of like how life has brought me here. But yeah, that's what originally brought me here.
And how long have you been living there for?
Like 17 years now.
Wow. Actually, it's the same time I've been living in London, actually, in 2007 when I moved to London.
Yeah, it's more than 17 years. I moved here in 2005. What's the math there? I'm really bad with simple math.
Yeah, well, a little bit more than 17 years, for sure.
Sure.
Will, and what do you do for a living? What do you do for work?
I'm a chemical analysis on pharmaceuticals and stuff. So we do different tests to see, it could be anything from like the drug degradation, how it degrades over time, and see the stability of the drugs, or potency of a particular compound and stuff.
Wow.
So I do chemistry and lab work, basically. Yeah.
And what do you like the most about your job?
What I like the most, I mean, I love science. Actually, I'm getting a master's degree in chemistry right now. I just like the things that we're able to do now, and different fields of interest that I have. And even though that I'm not currently working in the fields that interest me the most, I hope that one day I'll get into those fields. But I mean, for example, right now I'm working on data for a new COVID vaccine, and we're just gathering. So it's stuff that helps people that, it's not, like for example, the testing that we're doing on this possible fourth COVID vaccine, it helps everyone worldwide, but there's drugs that have gone through that have passed different requirements to be administered in different countries that we've done work on, and that's pretty cool. So I like that.
Amazing. Right, so before we start our journey within the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself.
Something interesting? Oh my God, you're putting me on the spot. I have no idea what's interesting about me, to be honest. Well, maybe not interesting, but I am very proud of. I would say that I'm proud to be, I mean, my husband and I have been together 15 years, almost, in December.
Wow.
So that's interesting. We're both the same age. We met when we were 22 years old, and we're 37 this year, and we've kind of grown up together. So I think that's pretty cool, especially in gay culture. Being with someone for that long, it's a milestone.
For
Yeah.
sure. It's like yeah, when I have gay guys hitting the show and they have like a long relationship like yours, it's really beautiful to see that. I like to see that because as you mentioned, the gay community relationships can be a little bit, let's say, fragile, different. You know what I mean? Compared with the relationship. Oh, we have a cat there. Is a cat or a dog?
It's a dog. I have two dogs and a cat. So I have, I'll show you. This is my dog, Maddie.
Hello,
And
Maddie.
she's a troublemaker. We call her the little monster. And she's always getting in trouble. She jumps on the table all the time. And then I have my other dog here. His name is Benji. This is Benji.
Hello, Benji. Oh,
And
so
he's our
cute.
old man. He's 10 years old now. He's the one that's always a good boy. He's a good boy. He's never getting in trouble. He's never doing anything bad. He's just a good boy. Where the other one, they're both very needy. They want to be on you, with you at all times. And the cat running around here somewhere. I don't know where she is.
All right. As I'm saying, so yes, I find very beautiful to see gay guys a long relationship because it's beautiful to see because as you know nowadays always been like the gay community, things can be very fast and sometimes difficult to manage relationship. So it's amazing. I'm very happy to know that you've been in a long relationship. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Will, before we start our journey, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Okay.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question. Let's do it. Okay, Will, before we start the game, through the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? It's all very friendly. First question for you is, tell us about your guilty pleasure.
A guilty pleasure? Oh, I trash TV. I love TV. Like, I maybe guilty, not so guilty pleasure. I mean, I love it. I think I like, just different reality shows. Not all of them. Like, well, the biggest one, I like the Real Housewives franchise. It's a guilty pleasure, I think, because you don't have to devote that much attention to it. So it's not like real TV shows. Like, you have to really devote your attention, otherwise you miss details and you're lost. Like.
So you're saying, so yes, I think like those reality TVs is kind of relaxing as well. As you said, you just watch it. There's nothing too interesting, but it's just fun to watch it.
Yeah. So, and I like the drama without it being in my life. So.
Good one. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Will, next question for you is, good question. If you're not yourself, would you like to be yourself and why?
No, I think I'm pretty comfortable with myself. So I think I learned the hard way to be myself, and I'm pretty comfortable in my skin at this point in my life. I think the 20s, you kind of try to figure that out. And then in your 30s, hopefully, I mean, at least I've done it for myself. I'm in a place where I really know myself. I know the things that I like, the things that I don't like, and I feel really comfortable with my skin. I think I'm pretty much myself generally. Yeah.
When you say that you learn the hard way of being yourself, what do you mean by that?
Well, there's always, you go through insecurities, and you have to go navigate through, and everyone has them. It could be the most beautiful person in the world or the most successful person in the world, and everyone has insecurities, and you have to learn to address them and not hinder your life and the progress that you can make in your life as a person. So when I was younger, I mean, I'm first generation born in the US from immigrant parents. So, you know, I come from a humble upbringing, and I think I've done really good for myself despite that. And then you know, especially in the gay world, like the way you look, it's always, you know, are you good looking? Are you not good looking? Are you in shape? Are you not in shape? You know, and especially I'm short. I'm only 5'6", so I hated being short when I was young. Well, I still hate it, but I've learned to be okay with it because that's never going to change, you know. But when I was younger, I was super insecure about my height, and and it was what it was. So I had to learn to navigate through my insecurities, which some of them were physical, some of them were like educational, some of them were, professional things like learning how to speak or carry myself in public. I was always kind of like, it was like a thought in the back of my head, like I should behave a certain way. Now I behave how I behave, and you know what, that's who I am. You like it or you don't,
Yeah, I think all of us, we go through those insecurities in life. You know what I mean? As a teenager, as an adult, there's always a stereotype that society brings up, and you need kind of to focus somehow. And sometimes we lost ourselves in those stereotypes that it doesn't exist. It's just in our mind or the other people's minds, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Cool. Next one, let's do it. Right, before the next question, as you mentioned about being gay in North Carolina, it's easy to find is approachable people. You can be yourself in the place where you live, or it can be challenged sometimes.
No, it could be challenging here. Like, I mean, I lived in a pretty in a city somewhat, so like people here are more progressive, but in general, North Carolina could be challenging. Because it's very much a conservative state, and some of the laws that are passed here can be challenging, especially when it's hurting your community and stuff. So I would say that in public, at this point in my life, I do feel very comfortable, but it's not the same as, let's say, if I lived in New York City or San Francisco, where like everything's just so progressive there that it's not like an issue or whatever. Like I would say, like, if I want to hold my husband's hand, like I always think like to see maybe like it's someone's watching perhaps or whatnot, or and it's not like I've had it to where like people have stared or whatever, and even though you want it not to bother you, like you can't help but to notice it, and then it affects you in some sort of way, as opposed to be normalized, and it's just part of life, which it is.
And being a gay guy, did you always have the support of your family? And if you can tell me the day when you came out, did something happen, or you just felt like, okay, from now on, I'm gonna be myself and I'm gonna express myself the way I am?
So I was lucky enough to have like a really loving family, and I've had anything negative from my family. However, coming out was difficult for me because I grew up very, very religious, and the blocks were not so much the love from my family, because my family would have loved me regardless, but it was just the way I was raised and the religious aspects that kind of put a block in my head and in my mind. And I knew I was gay ever since I was little, but I remember saying to myself, it's like I'll see like a boy that I would think it's attractive. Hold on, my dog's being naughty. The one that I tell you that she's a bad girl. What are you doing? What? She's eating a chapstick. This is what she's eating. She's always a bad girl. She's always making trouble. Stay right here with me. But yeah, as I was saying, I grew up very religious, so it was more like when I was a kid, I would like see like a guy that was attractive, and I knew I found it attractive. I knew I shouldn't have found him attractive, and I would say, God, just take these thoughts away from me. Just take them away. It's a sin. Take them away. So as I grew up older, then I knew I was gay, but I had like, it was a struggle. It was an internal struggle of just what I grew up with, knowing that it was a sin, and then accepting that. And it wasn't until like I was like 20 or 21 that I finally decided that I couldn't live like that. I had to be me. I had to be me. And then thankfully my family was also very supportive. All of them, all my family was supportive.
You said something interesting, Will. When I was a child as well, I remember being a child when I started to, my body started to grow and I started to be a teenager. And I remember praying in the church as well, not to have those feelings, because for me it was wrong and I couldn't understand why I was having those thoughts and feelings. And I remember praying as well in the church. It's interesting saying that.
Yeah.
Great. Next question for you is, what do you think is a good age to start dating and why?
Oh, I don't know. I think as early as you want. I mean, seriously, heterosexual couples start dating when they're teenagers, when they're in high school. I mean, and it's all part of it. Like when you don't know, when you feel that emotion as young as, 14, 15, 16, if you feel that you want to date someone, this is all a journey. And, and the earlier you get started in that journey, the faster you're going to get to your destination, and, I think a lot of the problems in gay culture with dating is just that a lot of the times, you'll have a more experienced guy that's dating a guy that hasn't been out for that long and hasn't had that experience. And even though they may want the same thing, like the one guy that doesn't have as much experience in the dating world, in the gay dating world, then wants to experience more. And and that's fair. I think that's absolutely fair. So I think the earlier the better. I mean, heterosexual kids start dating in their early teenage years. Why can't gay guys start dating then?
Totally agree. Absolutely. As long as you feel safe, in a safe place, why not? There's not that room, for sure.
Yeah. And of course.
No, carry on. Sorry.
Oh, no. I said, of course. As long as it's within a safe environment, and I'm not talking about a teenager dating a 20-plus-year-old. Like, it should be just date yourselves, teenagers. Start early.
Yeah, and they learn together. They have memories together, and that's beautiful, isn't it? Next one. Let's do it. Next question for you is, what is the most beautiful thing someone has ever said to you?
I love you. Like, truly, genuinely, like my husband has. And, he's my best friend. We've grown up together. We met when we were 22, and it has been hard sometimes and has been fights sometimes. And we're both very hard-headed, and for him to say that he loves me, or for him to say that he has a happy life, I think that is
beautiful. Saying that through those beautiful years they've been together, what's the most beautiful lesson you've learned from him so far?
To be patient. To be patient and compromise, I have to say. And I think that's why a lot of relationships don't work out. It's if you're not willing to meet someone halfway, you can never make something work. If you can't be patient, you're maybe you're ready for something, and it could be anything. It could be a new career, or live in a new place, or it could be being in an open or close relationship, or whatever it may be. If one of you is ready and you love the other one, you have to wait for that person to be ready. You have to be patient for that person to get there, in order to move together. Otherwise, you move apart.
Saying that, what's the biggest difference between both of you, and what's the biggest similarity?
The biggest difference, I he's dramatic. I am more on the calm and uh, calmer type side. So I think in that perspective, we very much help each other, balance each other out. Because when he's like up here with his like energy and craziness, then I'm like, calm down. Calm down. And the same thing, like I can be like he brings me up when I need that, when I need that extra energy. So, and then similarities, I think, we have a lot of similarities, anywhere from the shows we watch, how we like to live, just like how we see our lives and stuff like that. So yeah, we have a lot of.
Beautiful. Next one, let's do it. Will, before the next question, as you're saying that you spent some time of your childhood, teenage in El Salvador, when you think about what's the best memory that comes to your mind?
So many memories there. I was lucky enough to meet two of my great grandmothers, so I have like really fond memories with them. Also, my grandparents had like property with like lots of fruit trees, and I have really good memories climbing the fruit trees and just sitting there and just grabbing fruit and eating it and stuff. So many great memories of El Salvador. Yeah.
I see. And all your family, they're back in El Salvador, or they in America as well?
No, most of my family lives in New Jersey. Most of my family lives in New Jersey now, and I still have family that lives in El Salvador, but most of them live in New Jersey.
I see. All right. Next question for you is, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
In 5 years' time, I guess managing my own group in the field of work that I'm at. Not in school anymore because I'm done with school this year. And maybe moving to a bigger city, because this city is a little bit small. And I'm here. We're waiting for me to graduate from my master's, which will be done this year, for us to look to see if we want to move or not. But yeah, I think my life's on good track. Like, I'm really good with my husband, my family. We're doing well, so I'm in a really happy place. Yeah.
Amazing. Very good. Ready for another one?
Yes.
Let's do it. Next question for you is, if you could spend an entire day with a family member, who that would be and why?
Oh, easily my mom. Or if I can pick three, it would be my mom, my sister, and my grandmother. I love my family so much. But my mom, by far, she's gone through a lot of struggles, and like just recently she got her U.S. citizenship. And it's been
I saw your post. I was like, oh my God, that's so nice.
It was to me, I was literally at work making that post, crying in the bathroom stall, because I got so emotional, because there's a lot of history of my mother's journey to citizenship, and a lot of it was really rough. And while I wouldn't want to talk about that because that's part of her life, but there was a lot of moments with fear, and a lot of moments with tears, and a lot of moments where she wasn't even with her children, and which created problems within the children, and relationship between the children and my mother and stuff. And overall, she's a phenomenal mother. She went through so much that we can have a good life, and we have a good life, and it's all thanks to her. And she just now is getting her citizenship, when it's incredible, and I was just so happy for her. I really genuinely was.
What's her name?
Her name is Sandra.
Sandra.
Yes.
Sandra, I'm sure you're very proud of your son saying that right now. Congratulations. And do you have just one sister?
Yes, I have one sister. And I think there are 7 siblings total. 4 of them I grew up with because they were part of the same marriage. My mom and dad, all 4 of us have the same mother and father, and we grew up together. So they're the ones that I'm closest to, but I am close to all my siblings together.
I see. Very good.
Girl.
Next one. I saw one of your posts, you're dancing in the corridors, like he's a good dancer.
Oh, dance. That's I grew up dancing. That's just part of my culture. And I dance any music. As I've grown older, I've grown to love any music, and any music that has a form of dance, I'm dancing to it.
Next question for you is, what is the most dramatic argument you ever had?
Oh my God. Most dramatic arguments. It could be my sister, or it could be my husband. Because he and I have had super dramatic arguments. But I'll go with my sisters, just because I've only gotten in one argument with my sister, and it was crazy. As kids, as adults, we've always gotten along, never gotten in a fight, or even seen things from a different perspective. But this time, she came down to visit, and I was graduating from my bachelor's degree, and my husband had done a party, and my sister and I did not see the eye on a particular issue, and then there was alcohol involved, of course, and it was this huge fight, and like, I'm leaving, I'm never coming back here again. And I was like, fine, leave, blah blah blah. And it was ugly, and I'm happy it's never happened again, because I love my sister to death, and I know she loves me. And it was just a one-time thing, and I hope we never again, because we're both very stubborn and both very hard-headed. So it's just one of those situations where, like, neither one of them is gonna win this argument. So let's just, call it a day or so. Let's agree to disagree.
And in this special occasion, who was the one who gave the first step to make it up?
Okay, so I'm not sure. So after that, I was kind of angry, and my husband and I had a planned trip, and we were not married at the time. So we had a planned trip to Chicago with a friend group, and I said to my then fiance, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if we just got married in Chicago and didn't tell anybody? Next day because I told you he's dramatic and extra. The next day he had it all figured it out. And we're gonna do this, and that, and we're gonna get married there. And you know what? The people that are there, those are the people that we want. And we got married, and my sister was upset about it. And so was my mom and stuff. But you know what? I was very disappointed with that argument, and not in a good place. And I was like, you know what? We didn't want anything big anyways. And my husband was kind of upset with some of his family members also, due to the same graduation party. And we were just both kind of upset with our families at that time. And we were like, you know what? This is what we want. And it was spur of the moment. Like it wasn't like, oh, we planned it that way. It was more like, this argument happened maybe 2 weeks before our trip. And then one day I just said, wouldn't it be funny? And then next thing we know, we are getting married.
Done.
And it was done simple, a few close friends, nothing big, nothing extravagant, and it was done.
Next one, let's do it. Okay, Will from North Carolina. Next question for you is, tough question for you now. If your plane was going down, and if you could call just one person to say goodbye, who that would be and why?
It'd be tough. Just one person. I would have to say my mom. I would have to say my mom. I love my husband, but I mean, the relationship that I have with my mom, it's unbeatable. And of course, it's a different type of relationship. But you know, if I were gonna die and she brought me to this world, then I think that she would be the only person deserving the phone call saying that I was gonna die. You know.
I think your husband would be the same plane with you, so it'd be easier for you to call her.
Yes.
Let's put this way to make it.
Yeah. So that would be easy. That would be my mom.
Right, I have 3 questions left for you. Okay, let's do it. Next question for you is, if you could have a superpower, what that would be and why?
Superpower. I would want to be able to
You what, sorry?
teleportation.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the world is so big and there's so little time to see things, and being able to like see things like architecture and art or natural wonders would be amazing. And if I could teleport, it would be a lot cheaper.
Let's say that you have this superpower right now at this moment. Where would you teleport yourself to?
You know what? The first thing that came up to my mind was the Grand Canyon. I've actually never been there. My husband had the opportunity to go there, but I wasn't there. And I've always wanted to go there. But I wouldn't want to go. I would teleport somewhere where like in the Grand Canyon where like there's nobody there, nobody's seen. It's not like the touristy trails that take you there, you know. I would want to teleport at some crazy like chimney rock type, you know, landing or something like that, where it's just like beautiful and the view is amazing and stuff.
Good one. 2 questions left for you, Will. Let's do it. When you say, is your name William?
My name is William, yes.
I see. People call you Will, people call you Billy, Will.I.am. There's a lot of nicknames.
People generally call me Will. In Spanish, people call me William, or my middle name is Antonio, so they call me Tony sometimes.
Ah, interesting. What's your
my everyday life? I just go by Will.
Your husband call you Will as well?
Well, he calls me babe, but
Oh.
but if he had to talk about me, he would call me Will.
Before the next question, Will, as you said, I can see how much you love your job, you enjoy, you appreciate your job, but there's always a challenging part as well. What that would be?
Challenging part at work?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, many. I mean, it's science. So a lot of the times the things that we're doing, it doesn't work. And you have to figure it out. And then, you know, it could be, you know, in order to get one thing done, it could be like, you know, 10, 15 steps. And any of those steps could have gone wrong. And you have to figure out what did it go wrong? And then you have to sit there and brainstorm about the possibilities of what went wrong and stuff like that. So that's definitely a challenge. It's a challenge. And it's a challenge with any kind of science. Things don't, just because they're supposed to work, they don't work that way. Things go wrong all the time.
Wow. All right. Next question is, where do you see yourself living when you retire?
When I retire, probably in like Southern California or something like that. I love the weather there, and if I could live there right now, I would, but it's too far away from my family. You know, but by retirement age, my family would probably be old and probably passed away by then. No. So like, but I'm close to my family, so I don't want to move to the West Coast because I live on the East Coast. But I love the weather there. Like, just, you know, no mosquitoes there. I hate mosquitoes on the East Coast. So maybe there for sure.
Amazing.
Somewhere warm, sunny for sure.
Sure. Ready for the last one?
Yes.
Last question. Let's do it, Will. But before the last question, people would you like to start a career in your fields? Yeah, in your as a biochemic. Yeah, your chemistry. What would be your best piece of advice?
Best piece of advice: learn how to learn, because you're constantly learning. And if anything that college should teach people, or any kind of school, is just learning how to learn, because you can learn anything, but if you don't know how to learn, or you don't know your ways of learning, because everybody learns differently. Some people learn through hands-on interactions. People learn through books and reading, and reading the theory of what you need to do. So like, you just got to figure out what works for you and how to learn, because especially in the science world, it doesn't stay the same. It's constantly changing. So learning how to learn is the best thing that you can do.
And when was the moment that you said, okay, I was born to work on this, to be part of this field? There was a moment, or you always liked that?
No, I think, originally I wanted to be a doctor, and I actually did try to do that. And it was a lot of stress. And I have friends who are doctors, and they're like, it's not what you may think it is. And it wasn't. It was just so stressful. And just the application process to medical schools and stuff like that was so stressful. And I did apply, and I didn't get in. And I read that most people don't get in that first time. And then I was like, I just don't want to put myself through that amount of stress. But medicine, science are kind of go hand in hand, and I've always known, I've always been very attracted to science and how things work and stuff like that. So there wasn't like a particular moment where I was like, oh, this is where I want to be. I always liked science, and it was two choices that I would have been okay with, which was being a doctor or something in the medical field like that, like clinician type thing, or being in the science field and using techniques, like scientific techniques and stuff like that. So, and I'm in one of them, and I'm completely happy.
Amazing. Last question for you is, do you have any pet peeves?
Pet peeves? Oh yes, many. Too very. Well, I'm super clean. I'm not diagnosed with OCD, but I would say people will call me OCD often. I'm very clean. So anything that it's like cleanliness wise, I'm OCD about. Like I smell pet peeve, like sinks in the, like I say, I like dishes in the sink. I hate them. Dishes in the sink, or not finished laundry. Like finish it. I fight with my husband about this. Start the laundry and finish it all the way. Put it away, hang it up, whatever. So those are a few of my pet peeves, but I have a lot.
What's your favorite chore, and what's your least favorite one?
Chore? Do I have to have a favorite chore? I do, in general, I do like to clean. So, sometimes it's stressful, but most of the times I just kind of concentrate on what I'm doing cleaning wise, and I forget about if there's like things that are in my life that are stressful, either work, school, or family. I just focus on what I'm doing, and then it kind of like just like takes me away from those issues. So I just, cleaning in general and stuff. But out of cleaning, the least favorite, I don't like to do yard work, and my husband does the yard work. So I guess we're good with that. we're a compatible match, because he just did all the yard work yesterday, and I'm happy because it looks nice outside, and I didn't have to do it.
Amazing. Okay, Will, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell me one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Okay. So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game.
All right, let's see.
Family.
Happiness.
Money.
Not necessary.
Love.
The best feeling.
How about life?
Incredible.
Sex.
Amazing.
Politics.
I can't, one word, just craziness, I guess.
Okay.
Especially
Religion.
Lost relationship.
Okay.
For me.
Fear.
Many. Not being successful in life.
Okay. Friendship.
Charitable. Like I hold it close to my heart.
Desire.
Desire. We all have it. Necessary to live.
One word for regret.
Regret. Many.
Success.
Bright future.
Wish.
Happiness.
And one word for happiness.
One word for happiness. Family.
One word for New Jersey.
Trash. It's an ongoing joke with anybody from New Jersey.
One word for El Salvador.
Beautiful.
One word for North Carolina.
It's also beautiful.
USA.
Troublesome.
And the last one now, science. One word.
One word for science is trying to say what I'm trying to say with one word. We've only seen a little bit of it. Learning, just learning.
Right.
Continue.
Let's pretend now I'm going to get a plane all the way to North Carolina to meet your husband for a coffee. And I'm going to ask him, what is the most beautiful thing about Will? And what's something that he still needs to work on, to improve on? What he would say?
I would say he would say loyalty and loyalty. I'm just loyal to my people, my friends. Yeah. And most improved, my temper.
It's the Latin bloods around, Latin bloods.
My temper for sure.
If I would ask the same question to your lovely mom, would be the same answer?
Probably, yes, I would agree.
They know you very well, your loved ones. Let's play now, Will, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, Will, you can ask me a question now.
Okay. So I've learned that you're from Brazil, correct?
Yeah.
And you live in London.
Yes.
What brought you to London?
Do you have another 2 hours to talk about?
Oh, I had time.
Let's get a coffee, let's get a tea, let's get some scones, let's do like a picnic together. No, I'm just joking. One of the main reasons, Will, is I always wanted to live in a country where I could speak English every single day. Since as a young age, I was a teenager, I started studying English, and I've always been very fascinated about the language. And before London, I was living in Portugal. I was in Portugal for 5 years. I left Brazil when I was 19 years old. So I've been away from Brazil a long, long time. And I always had this mindset of growing after my dreams, get a better life, help my parents, and London wasn't my plans. It's so funny because people like South America, we always had this thing about America dreams or every opportunity. Let's live in the US. And I had as well, but at the time, my parents, they couldn't afford to support me live in America to get a visa and everything. So I had the opportunity to go to Portugal. I didn't think twice. I said, okay, let's start in Portugal. Let's see what life is bringing. And I've been in London for the last 17 years now. And London is home. I love being here. I meant to be here. And so yeah, the main reason it was the language. But saying that, I always had this personality of going after my dreams and get a better life, helping my parents. And that's one of the main reasons that I've been away from Brazil. And yeah, I found my place and I'm so happy to be here. And I'm glad that life directed me to here because I found my happiness, my way of living life here in London, for sure.
Well, that's great. That's awesome. I'm always a big supporter of just pursue your dreams. And like the pursuit of someone's dreams is not so much like one particular goal in mind. It's much as like finding your way, and life will take you to a happy place. You just gotta, navigate through it.
Absolutely. And sometimes, as I mentioned, sometimes life brings you beautiful surprise that you're not expecting. But first of all, you just need to be open to it, approachable, open to opportunities. Just go with the flow, follow your intuition, you know what I mean? And life is gonna, it's gonna be there for you. So yeah, keep trying, always go after your dreams.
So tell me 3 favorite things of London.
Okay. 3 favorite thing about London. Living in London, one of the main thing is about it's a place where you're never gonna get bored. There's always something to do. Always. There's no like there could be Monday morning, Monday afternoon, Tuesday evening, Saturday morning, Sunday afternoon. There's always something to do. It's incredible when you have like friends or family visiting. They go like, oh, which day is the best? I said, there's no day here. Every day here, it's ready for you. There's always something that you're gonna find, in different areas. Other part that I love about London is about you can be yourself, you feel safe, you feel free of being yourself, with no judgmental. And there are so many people, so many nationalities in London that sometimes you forget that you are in London because there is so many languages, so many people express themselves the way they are. It's so much freedom. This morning I went to the one local supermarket, and it's because it's the Pride month. There were some like little flags around, like just in a local supermarket, and I was like, my goodness, how amazing to see this. And London is about that. London, there's always message around the undergrounds, like supporting you or saying that you're never alone. There's whatever you want to be, this is the right place to be. And since I've been here, I realized that it's a very let's say comforting city in a way. Of course there is a big city, there's always problems as well as anywhere else, but living in London, it's one of the main things is that you can be yourself. You can literally be yourself, like you feel like I can be myself 100%. The third thing about London, I would say, oh wow. Okay, first I would say opportunities in London is a place of opportunities for sure. My God, you have no idea, Will. So many opportunities that sometimes you talk about life can direct you. Here is the same as well. You start something and suddenly you start going around, then start directing you. In one point, you find yourself in a career or a working place that you go like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. And that's London. Like drive you different opportunities, different careers, different ways for you to work and and expand your knowledge or your abilities. London, this is London. London, it's a place as well of opportunities. So that's the 3 main things that I think I'm very grateful to be here. And of course, after we finish this call, I'm gonna go like, okay, I wish I had said that. Oh, I should have said that. But no, I'm just joking. But yeah, London is a place of opportunities. It's a place of you can be yourself, and also you can meet people all over the place, like all over the world. And sometimes you make friends like this, like you go for a night out and you meet people from country that you never heard about before, country that you never heard, like never thought about. And it's so interesting because you start a conversation, you leave like the place or the bar, like with so much knowledge of the place that you go like, my goodness, it's amazing. You know, you met even people, like let's say you go on a date with people, you go like, my goodness, I felt like I had like a master class of any topic or any language or any background, because this is London. That's how you can find people here. Did you have a good time?
Yes, it was a good time.
Thank you so much, Will, to take the time. I know you're very busy, but you took the time for the interview. You challenged yourself as well. As you said, you've never done something like that before. I just hope that you had a good time.
I did. It was actually very enjoyable, and you know, like reminiscing on some of those memories that your questions brought forth. And it was nice. Yeah.
Thank you. But before you go, if you can share a positive message or something that you live by.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I live by, life is only as good as you make it. And so you only have one. So just make it good. Like you said, don't waste opportunities. Don't waste fun, like learn when to be serious, when to have a good time, like I said, life is only as good as you make it. So make it great.
I like that. It's amazing. Thanks so much. Regards to your husband, to your family, and you keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you here, okay? Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Keep in touch. Bye-bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.